I've seen a lot of different people in the business world over the years. I've seen a person who has been successful and made a fortune, and I've seen a lot of people who were hated by money and failed. Among them, I was convinced that there are people who become rich and people who don't. The difference is that it depends a lot on who you associate with. Truly successful people pay a lot of attention to who they associate with, and they always keep their distance from certain types of people. This time, I'd like to share with you 7 commonalities that Elon Musk and the successful and wealthy people around me would never approach. This is not just about people I don't like or people whose personalities I don't get along with. Just being with him makes luck and fortune run away. If you have someone like this around you, I recommend you to quietly distance yourself from them. Chapter 1. People who don't keep their promises are the enemy of the wealthy. I've seen this a lot in my years in the business world, but the things that make me think I can't have anything to do with this person anymore are always people who take promises lightly. Even if you speak politely at first, when the time for the promise comes, there's no word. They won't reply unless we prompt them. This makes me feel depressed and throws off the schedule. Moreover, the only excuse I got from those people was, I was a bit busy. Trust is when you can trust someone without them having to say anything. It is only when you do what needs to be done properly that you can achieve it. The accumulation of these efforts will turn into an invisible asset called trust. True credibility isn't flashy, it's heavy and precious. The successful people around me all say the same thing. It's best to keep your distance from people who don't keep their promises. Not keeping a promise is not just carelessness or laziness. It's proof that you don't understand the importance of trust as a person. In the business world, a single verbal promise can earn you millions. There are times when tens of millions of stories are in motion. So, the question is how much responsibility you put into that one word. Whether or not you are prepared to do so determines the value of a person. Even if it's a small promise, whether you keep it or not is important. It can make or break your next opportunity. If you think, this person is okay, good offers will come your way naturally. On the other hand, if you ever feel like, this is not what we said, no one will take that person seriously anymore. The time they lose often causes trouble for those around them. I have seen such scenes many times. And one more important thing, promises aren't just made with other people. This also includes the promises you make to yourself. Do what you say you'll do. This habit will attract trust and wealth to your back. There's nothing special about keeping a promise, but there are very few people who can continue to do it as a matter of course. That's what I've been saying all along. People build trust by doing what they say and lose trust by not doing what they say. No matter how big your dreams are, the words of someone who doesn't keep their promises sound empty. So when we're dating someone, the thing I look at most is the person's attitude towards promises. For those who are punctual, this naturally makes me want to trust them too. On the other hand, even if you say nice things, quietly withdraw from those who do not take action. I think that's the decision of someone who values trust and wealth. Chapter 2. Complaining attracts poverty. I've always thought that people who complain a lot always seem to have bad luck. When I see people constantly saying things like, this is bad, that is bad, or why is it always me who has to suffer? I naturally feel depressed too. A gloomy atmosphere surrounds me no matter what I do. The whole place becomes gloomy. People who truly attract good luck never forget to look forward no matter what the situation. They express hope by saying things like, it's tough now, but I'll manage somehow. Or next time, things will go well. Complaining might make the person who says it feel better, but it makes the air around me heavy. If you keep doing that, people and opportunities will quietly drift away. The more successful a person is, the more sensitive they are to the atmosphere. Oh, this person is no good, and they distance themselves. Complaining is really exhausting for the listener. At first, I listened and thought, oh, I see. When repeated over and over again, I can't help but feel like this person has no intention of changing anything. Moreover, the more people complain, the more they tend not to take action on their own. You say it as if the whole world is bad. Actually, my thoughts and attitudes, they don't realize that they are creating reality. People who have wealth are sensitive to this kind of atmosphere of pushing responsibility onto others. The reason is that he lost his wealth and connections. This is because they know very well that the future can change depending on who they entrust it to. If they think, if I leave it to this person, things might not go well, they try not to get involved any further. So if you look closely, the more successful people are, the more carefully they choose their words. It'll all work out somehow. If I change, the flow will change too. He has such a positive habit of speaking. There you can see the determination to take responsibility for your own life. Everyone has tough times. When you feel like giving up, you might want to complain. That's not a bad thing in itself, but whether you keep saying it or not is the key. It's a crossroads of destiny. For those who make positive words a habit, people naturally want to help. However, people who only complain tend to turn their backs on others, saying, "That's enough." No one wants to breathe gloomy air. In my experience, successful people don't hang out in dark places. I don't go to places where the air is heavy. I try not to get too close. It's not cold at all. It's a choice to protect yourself. So, what kind of atmosphere are your words creating? Thinking about it is the first step to attracting luck, I think. Chapter 3. People who only act on the surface are less trustworthy. There have been many people I've met who have impressed me and made me think, wow, what a great thing to say. But, among them, there are people who have actually achieved something. It's just a little. No matter how noble your words may be, they are meaningless if they are not accompanied by actions. Even if superficial words attract people at first, they will eventually show that you have no substance. And once you think, he's just talking, trust cannot be regained. What we look at is not what the person said, but what did you do? The accumulation of daily actions and the weight of actions, that's the source of trust. To those who are good at talking but don't do what needs to be done, I can't get any trust. Words without actions are not trustworthy. It only brings disappointment. I think that is a truth that remains unchanged even as times change. Anyone can say great things, but the question is whether they can put them into practice, even if only a little at a time, every day. That's where the true essence of a person is revealed. I'll do it someday. I'm thinking about it. We're preparing. I hear that kind of thing a lot. But if it continues for months, it's not good. It's okay if there are no results. But if you don't see any signs of doing it, no one wants to entrust their future to that person. Wealthy people judge by actions rather than words. This is because they know that no matter how beautiful your words are, if you don't actually take action, you won't see results. True trust comes from small accumulations. For example, being punctual and replying promptly. It is for people who can do what they are asked to do as a matter of course. Wealth is coming. The words of such people naturally carry weight. And that weight moves people. It will become a force for moving wealth. Even if you try to move people with just words, nothing will actually happen. Words only come to life when they are backed up by actions. I have seen many times situations where I thought, that person talks a lot, but they don't do anything. Such people may surprise those around them at first, but as time goes by, no one will listen to what you say. No one will have any expectations of you. On the other hand, people who do what they need to do quietly, I will be trusted no matter what I say. When it accumulates, I can trust that person. True trust is born from this quiet attitude. Actions speak louder than words. This is something that will never change in any era. I believe this is the basis for gaining trust. Chapter 4. Liars are termites that eat away at money. Lies may seem convenient at first, but they're like poison that slowly starts to take effect later. I just said a little too much. That's a convenient way of doing things. There are people who think that way, but even if they think they've managed to get through the situation, they will lose trust in the company later. Trust is everything. The main reason for breaking that trust is a lie after all. One lie can make all other truths seem doubtful. True trust takes time to build, but one lie can destroy it in an instant. That's why I've always said, lies are the termites that eat away at money. It's invisible to the eye, but it's slowly eating away at what's important to us. What is a lie? You may not notice it at the moment you hear it, but later you realize it's not true. There is a deep doubt in the mind of the other person. Once that happens, from then on, no matter what you say, people will think, is that for real? If this continues, people, conversations, and opportunities will become distant, especially when it comes to money transfer. If their trust is shaken even a little, they will think, I can't trust this person, and everything will go down the drain. People with wealth are extremely sensitive to lies. The reason is that they know that behind lies there is usually a hidden loss or risk. Even if someone seems like a nice person at first glance, if they say something that makes you think, it is important to be careful. If you really want to gain trust, You need to be prepared to tell the truth about even small things. Honest words have value. When it comes to the long run, I think it will become the foundation for generating great trust and wealth. When I was young, one of our business partners was a liar. I adjust to the situation, but what you say is different every time. At first, I thought, well, that's just the kind of person he is, so I went along with it. But gradually I started to feel, it's dangerous to work with this person. In the end, I cut ties completely. Once trust is broken, money cannot buy it back. No matter how much I apologize, no matter how much I excuse myself, there's a lingering feeling somewhere in my heart. And that hesitation will cloud your next decision. So, not lying is not just morality, it's a survival strategy. Don't erode the asset known as trust. You have to live with responsibility for your words. That's the secret to not losing money in the long run. Chapter 5. Those who do not take responsibility cannot bear the weight of wealth. From what I've seen over the years, I think the big difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is whether or not they are prepared to take responsibility. When something happens, people who can say, "It's my fault," have the power to grow. However, it's his fault. People who blame others or situations for the bad environment. No matter how much time passes, I'm still standing still in the same place. People who have a habit of avoiding responsibility, no matter what I'm given, I always end up hesitant. The moment I said, "It has nothing to do with me," your trust in that person will plummet. People are watching. If people think, "I can leave it to that person, but they'll just run away," then it's all over. Especially when it comes to handling money, the weight of that responsibility increases dramatically. I believe that wealth comes only to those who can take responsibility for it. It's never easy, but as long as you avoid that, you won't be entrusted with big tasks. When I was young, I made a mistake at work, and when I honestly reported it, my boss told me, "Failure happens to everyone. But if you hide that, you will lose trust." These words continue to motivate me to this day. The attitude of taking responsibility gives a sense of security to those around you. People who are thought to be people who won't run away no matter what naturally attract great opportunities. On the other hand, for those who are always looking for a way out, neither trust nor money comes near me. The more successful a person is, the more I look closely at their determination. And I think that this is what shows up in our everyday words and actions. People who run away from responsibility may seem comfortable for a while, but the price is a huge loss of trust. It can never be undone again. This means losing your precious asset, your credibility. All humans make mistakes, but at that time, you have to decide whether to run away or face it. The road changes dramatically. Taking responsibility also means being consistent in your words and actions. People who are consistent naturally attract others and gain trust. As far as I've seen, people who really get money, everyone was able to say, "It's my fault somewhere." Conversely, people who avoid responsibility will lose whatever they earn quickly. Even if it seems to be going well at first glance, eventually, its fragility will be revealed. Ready to take responsibility. This is the power to protect and grow wealth. And it's something you can learn right now. By facing it head-on without running away, your credibility and your life will change dramatically. Chapter 6. Loose-lipped people give away secrets and wealth. They say the mouth is the source of trouble. This really has a big meaning in the business world. Even if a person with loose tongues seems to have no ill intentions, he has no qualms about leaking other people's information to the public. Even if you think it's just a casual conversation, it can be fatal and damage the other person's trust. It can lead to the breakdown of trust. That is internal talk and business negotiations. The more it's someone's secret, once information is leaked, it can never be recovered. Information spreads in an instant. It'll take a lifetime to get it back. For those of us who work in jobs that depend on trust with others, being tight-lipped is not just a habit. It's a sign of decency and consideration. And it also serves as a powerful sign of trust to remain silent. This is a story I've experienced. One young employee accidentally mentioned the name of an important client while drinking outside the company. This then spreads to competitors. It turned out to be a big loss later. Just one word, and the trust that has been built up over the years can be lost. The rich and successful, I'm very concerned about those small cracks. That's because information is money itself. The foundation of trust is when people think, "I can talk to this person with confidence." or this person won't leak anything. Being loose-lipped doesn't just mean that you're a talkative person, it means that you have little self-control. And that weakness will eventually lead to a major failure. Should I say something when the time comes? Only those who can judge whether to remain silent. You will be entrusted with situations of great responsibility. This is a truth that applies not only to business negotiations, but to all aspects of life. One of the managers I respect is, no matter what happened, I never leaked to a third party what I had heard from others. That attitude gave everyone around him a strong sense of security. People who keep their mouths shut naturally come to think, I can talk to this person about anything. On the other hand, the moment you think, if I tell that person, it will spread, trust is falling. To build wealth, the ability to protect information and relationships is essential. Being a loose-lipped person carries the risk of destroying all of that in an instant. I'm keeping quiet for someone else's sake. It's a kind of sincerity and compassion, and that gives people around them peace of mind and trust. The words you say can protect someone. It can also hurt. Only those who know the weight of you will be truly trusted and succeed as a result. Chapter 7. People who speak ill of others lower their own value. When you speak ill of someone, your words are not just directed at that person, to hurt yourself too. There are many people who don't realize this. The successful people I've seen, there were hardly any people who spoke ill of others. Because speaking ill of others not only destroys people's trust, people think, this person is saying things like this behind my back. On the contrary, it is something that people avoid. Words are a mirror that reflects a person's heart. People who are always finding fault with others will gradually lose trust in others, and those around them will. People and money naturally drift apart. Truly trustworthy people are more likely to talk about others behind their backs than to. I speak through my actions. The words that come out of such a person's mouth, there is weight and warmth. That's the attitude that successful people have in common. People who speak ill of others, people often have feelings of dissatisfaction and inferiority stored up inside them. And by letting it out, they are trying to protect themselves, but to those around them, this just looks like self-centered behavior. There was a time when an employee at work was constantly bad-mouthing his boss. At first, my coworkers were laughing at me. I gradually started to avoid that person. This person must complain about everyone. If that's how you feel, you'll never trust them again. Successful people are more likely to find fault with others than to think about how to improve yourself. Also, even if you feel good at the time, bad-mouthing others can be a pain. It's like a boomerang that will always come back to you later. Words are power. How to use that power, it determines the quality of the person. It is much more rewarding to spend your time on your own growth than on talking about others. Only those who can choose to live that way can. Wealth is accumulating. True strength isn't about putting others down, but about steadily increasing your own value. People who only speak ill of others, not only does it darken the world around you, it also clouds your own heart. There's nothing to be gained by bad-mouthing others. Just a momentary sense of superiority. Instead, use words that acknowledge and encourage people. It will enrich your own mind and make those around you happy. The successful people I know laugh a lot and find something good about the person you're praising. I'll say it out loud. People who want to support such people naturally gather around them. Not speaking ill of others is the best habit for improving yourself, I think. Choosing your words is like choosing your life. Using kind and positive words, you can gradually increase your self-worth. How is it? The people I talked about this time are people that rich people never approach. Relationships determine your luck and wealth. Please take a moment to reconsider the people you associate with. Your choices will greatly change your destiny. If today's story, I hope this will bring new awareness and encouragement to your life. Enter 100 in the comments section if you have any suggestions or improvements. Please write 0. Please click the like button and subscribe to the channel, as it will be a great encouragement to us. We will continue to deliver the words of various great people, so please do so. Thank you very much for watching today.